V.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the Friday stream of the week. It's already Friday, once mother flippin' again.
Even if you wouldn't like me at the moment for whatever reason, I am still here to give you $2 34 months in a row, Lamau.
Interesting. Yeah, Friday stream. Hopefully you guys are having a good one. Happy weekend. It do be starting as well. And today is hopefully a fun stream. Not gonna lie, yesterday kinda got out of hand because I was molding so badly. So we definitely had the moldiest stream of the whole year yesterday. But here's hoping today will be kinda calm at least. Would be cool. I'm kinda looking forward to doing all this anyway. Because it's been such a while since I've done tier lists. The last one was, I think, in like maybe April or something, so that's sort of like, I don't know, 5 months ago or something? Who knows? I honestly have no idea when it was, but it's certainly a good while ago. That's for sure.
I got you a swear jar for your birthday. You put a cutie in it every time
Oh no,
you
that's
say the C word. Yep.
That would be pretty bad for me, huh? Okay. So yeah, today is gonna be a tier list. We're gonna tackle the it's a gameplay one for FGO, and it's gonna be about 5-star CEs now, specifically the free 5-star CEs that you get from events and stuff. So that is the plan for today's list. It is a pretty hefty list, but honestly, since it's craft instances and not servants, I should be fine here. It's still probably gonna be a long ass list if I had to guess. Because I tend to ramble a lot anyway, but you know what is good? Now, if I do happen to finish early and there's still quite a bit of stream time left for me, we might even do a bonus one, which is a 5-star CE tier list of the, basically the bonus ones, you know, like lunchtime and tea time, Mona Lisa, Bella Lisa, every CE like that, basically. There's still not that many of them, so if there is time, we might even do that as a bonus on top. Honestly, it's not a big deal anyway. So it's mostly just to get this done today. Ooh, have I ever considered doing an art list for the series? Yes, I have actually considered that. Who knows, it might actually happen someday. No plans right now, because I want to do these two 5-star gameplay 5-star CE gameplay tier lists first, at least. But we're probably gonna do maybe at least 1 or 2 more tier lists this year after these 2 as well. And then of course next year, it's gonna, it's always a lot of work because it's a lot of servants to cover. But I'm probably gonna do the servant tier list for next year as well. Next year, that is. So yeah, look forward to that, I guess. How about that? So yeah, I'm actually kind of excited. Usually these you take a toll on my voice, but hey, it's been a while, so I'm very excited to do this. It's always fun to talk about stuff like this anyway, honestly. Even if, you know, people will disagree on opinions, because that's all this really is, opinions. Although objectively there are some cases where it's clear that one CE is better than another one. But, you know, still, it's opinion-based, let's be real. And that's fine. People can disagree, and that's the beauty of opinions. Let's just hope that YouTube won't tear me a new asshole, because that tends to happen when I post anything to do with opinions. Like, normal, actually, the feedback this year for tier lists actually was pretty good, I would say. Much better than last year, at least, so here's hoping the reception is still gonna be alright. You'd think at least CEs wouldn't be as heatedly, you know, debated as servants, at least, so hopefully that at least makes it easier as well. Now we get to breeze subs first of all, starting with Miku with the 34 months, thank you. Bless with the 18 months, enjoy your new badge, thank you. And Daryl with the 28 months as well, thank you. Laryl with 13 months, much appreciated. And Cowhigh with the brand new sub as well, actually, so welcome to the Go Gang, enjoy the emotes. Very cool. And yeah, okay, speaking of which pack, today is the birthday stream, so we're definitely sub gacha. Still probably gonna play at least one subsat game tomorrow, because I assume the birthday stuff won't cover the full stream, but hopefully a good amount of celebration as well. But again, that's tomorrow. Right now we have a tier list to do, okay? So yeah, 2 spicy streams. Anyway, let's see here. You might notice that maybe it's a bit easier to look at right now. This site actually does not have, you know, a dark mode filter, but I've downloaded a browser add-on that lets you make every web page ever into dark mode. So, you know, here's hoping it's easier to look at right now. You get, I mostly did it for the chat, for you guys, if anything. Like, if normally this website has a white background, so if you could see where the chat is right now, that would be completely white. So, if anything, now you guys are much easier to read. I mean, honestly, I don't read the stream chat, like on the one that you guys see. I read the one on my OBS, which is always dark mode, so I never have trouble reading the chat. But for the sake of this going up on YouTube later, it's much easier to read like that, so that's cool. Also, yeah, there's, I was about to get into that. The alert box is disabled for this, because again, this is going up on YouTube. But much like in the previous tier lists, there is no alert box for the duration of this tier list, so I was about to mention that, I suppose. Sorry about that, Keisha. You know what? Let's see, can I still do this? Yeah, let's see. I'll play your stick biddies, if I can. There you go.
Alright, give him
Boom.
the stick.
Because you did that before I even mentioned it. Alright. Yay. Well, there you go. Woo! So yeah, I'm about, we're gonna start very soon here. I have a bunch of stuff written down as well that I want to mention for the sake of this, again, going up on YouTube, but obviously for you guys as well. You know, you're still watching, so it's not all just for YouTube. Like, it's actually cool that you guys are here as well when it's live. Just a fair warning, much like in the previous tier lists, once I start, I'm probably gonna keep going a lot. I will be glancing at chat, obviously, a lot during the thing as well, but it's mostly gonna be like, if I had to guess, like 99% of me just rambling my own thoughts and just doing the thing. Maybe during placements, then I tend to look at chat a bit more, because then you guys can obviously maybe sway my opinion one way or the other, but I'm not really gonna stop too much to answer stuff from the chat. Just to keep the flow better. But yeah, that's like, that's the plan at least. Definitely during placements, I might be looking at chat a bit more. Very cool. So yeah, it's also dark mode for every other website as well, including the wiki, which I will be using to display CEs. It does look a bit wonky here. I can actually change it based on site. I could change this back, but then it's hard to read the chat anyway. But it's still kind of hard to read as is because of the lines in the form. But you know what? Maybe this is fine. I think it's fine, honestly. There you go. Oh yeah, this is the bonus list that we might do if there's still time, because it's a short one. It's just bonus, like drop CEs. But again, this is the main prio. And if I had to guess, this will probably cover the full stream. Even if it's just craft distances, you might think that, hey, maybe there's not that much stuff to say. Sometimes there is, honestly, and I like to ramble a lot anyway. Hey, Haruke, there's no alert, but I did see that, so thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub, much appreciated. Welcome to the Gao game. Thank you so much. So let's see here. Whoa. I was doing some prep. Actually, funny enough, I wasn't doing much prep in terms of like actually my thoughts on the placements. I'm mostly gonna wing the actual list, but prep in terms of the stream, hopefully going fine. And you know, also addressing all the stuff at the start of the thing that people might be curious about, like the criteria for placements, etc. All right. You seem more relaxed than the servant tier list. Yeah, honestly, I am more relaxed with this. I mean, obviously, this is a kind of a big deal. At the same time, CEs are a big part of gameplay, but at the same time, I also think these are not necessarily going to be as you know, heated in terms of the arguments. So hopefully, I can, you know, just relax a bit more. You know, how about that? Also, hopefully the mods are awake, because and you can handle song requests and whatnot, especially the audio, because again, because this is going up on YouTube, they won't have any of the music playing right now, so I'd rather not comment too much about the Nightbot activities, because they have no idea what I'm saying at that point. So I'm just gonna, you know, let mods handle all that stuff. Ooh, hey, it's the meme song. No, today is not the birthday stream, Raphael, actually. That's tomorrow. Today is this, basically. The welfare 5-star CE tier list for gameplay. That's the main plan. And if we have time, we might do this one as well, which has all the bonus Cs for like QP, Bond, Master EXP, Mystic Code EXP, etc. But this is the main thing. Okay. Which will also say which to level. I'm not gonna say that at the end. Utterly why. Maybe I'll do a recap at the end, but I was about to mention that as well. For C, obviously I'm gonna be placing them just like based on value, but I will, when I get to a CE that I think is worth giving levels to as well, I will mention that during all of the Cs. Like let's say. Usually between two things, like level this to like 50, that's not too bad, or level this to 100, which is a much bigger deal. So I will be mentioning stuff like that as well. Because level 50 is just 150 bomb, right? But level 100, it would be 850 bombs. So that's considerably more expensive. I would not recommend getting all the CEs to level 100 by any means. Hell, I would not recommend getting a lot of these to even level 50. Like, just don't really care too much about them. So again, it's mostly... We'll see how it goes. But maybe I'll do a recap at the end as well. If I remember about the levels, in case people skip to the end. Which are actually worth leveling, in my opinion. Alright, I think we should be good to go then. I'm gonna start doing the intro for the whole thing, which will also go up on YouTube. Cool. Let's see here. I'm just reading my notes so I don't forget anything. Okay, yep. Okay, there we go. How should I start this? I didn't really write anything that I want to say. I just wrote talking points. It's like when you're doing like a presentation in school or something. You just don't know how to start it, right? Okay. Let's see here. The long-awaited return of tier lists is finally here. At least that's what I hope you guys are thinking. Because the servant tier lists certainly earlier this year were fairly popular, so I'm hoping people are excited for this one as well. Yes, indeed, we are back. Not servants this time. I tend to do those once a year, so look forward to maybe more of those early on in 2023. But This is also very important for gameplay because we got craft essences, and not just any craft essences. You probably already read the title, saw the thumbnail, etc. This is 5-star CEs. Now, it's not all 5-star CEs in the game, because there will be 2 different lists. This is the first one. This list, well, you can already probably guess from the images you're seeing right now, this list will handle the so-called welfare ones, the free ones you get from events and stuff that you're guaranteed to get just from playing the game, and no gacha required, okay? And speaking of which, the second list of these 5-star tier lists, which hopefully is next week, unless I'm busy, but hopefully sooner than later, is gonna be the gacha ones. So it's gonna be like a split of 2. This will still take a long time. So for those of you who have missed these lists, you know, some people even mentioned they treat these like podcasts, which again, I'm very honored if you actually are entertained by my voice for that long. So thank you, if anything. Yeah, this, if I had to guess, this is probably going to be like 2 to 3 hours at least, even if it's just craft essences. There's 94 of them. That's quite a bit for the free ones. Now, before I get to the disclaimers, to the placement criteria, etc., a few other things to mention. Oh yeah, grab a drink. Might as well, because we're going to be here for a while, just like I said. So stay hydrated, because I'm going to try to do the same thing. There's really not going to be really any editing here as usual with these tier lists, so I'm just going to upload this raw to YouTube later as well. But shout out to everyone watching this live as well. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so I didn't really do too much prep here, unlike some of the servant ones. I'm mostly just going to wing this. I do think I have a good opinion about a lot of these CEs though, but it's just mostly just going to be me rambling what my current thoughts about all the CEs are and whatnot. Also, you might notice it looks a bit different compared to the servant tier list. That's because I finally got a dark theme. This website actually doesn't have one, but I got a browser add-on that lets me do it for like every site. So you guys told me you like to read what chat has to say as well, so now it should be a lot easier to read chat because there's no white background on that chat box. So there you go. Hey, shout out to the chat as well. Apparently YouTube likes you, at least during tier lists or something. Especially if you guys argue about like dojins or something while I'm talking about gameplay. You never know what you're gonna get with chat. So there you go. Hopefully you appreciate that as well. It will also apply with the other pages I have here as well. So hopefully everything is a bit easier to read. If you have other feedback as well, feel free to leave it in the comments. I always listen to feedback, especially if it's constructive criticism. I want to make these more enjoyable for everyone to watch, be it live or YouTube later. So yeah, I guess let's get to the disclaimers then. So I'm gonna try and be fast here because there's quite a bit of these. Again, this is all opinion based. That's the one most important disclaimer, okay? Is opinion based. Sure, there might be cases where some CE is even objectively better than another, sure, but at the end of the day, it's all opinion. So please try to be civil when you're like commenting or saying stuff live or whatever. Because, you know, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion on things. It's up to you whether how much emphasis you want to put into it. So, yeah, there you go. All opinion based. Obviously, a gameplay tier list, as you can hopefully tell by this point. So this is nothing to do with art or anything else. This is just pure gameplay stuff. This list, as you can see, includes every free CE released up to this day, including JP ones. So this is 7+ years in the making since the game has been out in JP. That's why there's a lot of these CEs. And speaking of which, the order of the placement will be based on release. So we're going to start from the very beginning. It's going to be fun and nostalgic, and we get to see a lot of very questionable early game design. So yeah, it's going to be from oldest to newest in terms of placement. The newest one being Gura Gura 7 as of recording this on September 23rd, 2022 for reference. There's other criteria for like placement itself is like how good the CE is, obviously, for the main intended uses, be it for farming, DPSing, supporting, damage niches, etc. There's a bunch of different cases. Now, and because this is the welfare one, I will assume MLBs for these CEs, even if you need a drop for some of them, obviously. In fact, for a lot of them, you did need drops to MLB them. You only got 4 copies for free. Obviously, for some of them, you're guaranteed to get 5 copies for free as well. But regardless, I will assume MLBs for all of these CEs that you see here, because it's pretty doable to get 1 drop most of the time. Now, there will be comparison made, and that will have a weight on the placement of CEs between similar ones, like let's say Aerial Drive and the Bunyan CE, or Dive to Blue and Ocean Flyer. So that will have an effect on how CEs will be placed. And speaking of which, when I initially start placing CEs, some of them might get moved around here and there during the list, and also at the end when we do final adjustments, just because it gets a lot easier to place them when there's more comparison for similar Cs. So if I place something, you know, somewhere and you immediately disagree with it, just you should probably at least check the end of the video, if you're watching this on YouTube, that is, in case it ends up getting shifted later when comparison is better. So don't immediately start typing angry comments or something like that. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully I have remembered to include timestamps as well for these CEs, so you can click around in case you're interested to see specific ones, because, you know, I'm a nice content creator. I want to make your guys' life easier, okay? I know most people will not be watching this whole thing. That's obviously very understandable. So for you guys, I will hopefully write down timestamps as well. How nice is that of me? So there you go. That's pretty much it for the disclaimers, honestly. Cool. And right before I begin, I might as well ask it during the start as well, because, you know, it's nice when videos do well. So if you actually really enjoy this, there's a lot of bit of work that goes into these. So if you can, just press the thumbs up button already. Like, it really helps out. And if you're really feeling nice, maybe share it with your friends that play the game as well, in case they might be interested too. So every little bit helps, you know. It's a free thing you can do, and it honestly goes a long way. So there you go. Might as well ask right at the start. And after we're done with this, if you liked what you saw, maybe consider subscribing, because there's a lot of fun content on the way in the future as well. Ooh, that's a doozy of an intro. I assume most people already skipped over all of this to look at the Cs, and that's fine. But anyway, we should be good to go now. I don't think I forgot to say anything. Hopefully, I went through all my notes there at least. So we are good to go. Ooh, I'm excited. Remember to stay hydrated though. So we're gonna start from the very beginning. The first ever welfare CE from the original Nero Fest. It's none other than Nightless Rose. It is a gut CE, and this one in particular comes with full HP stat, no attack. So, what do I think of this CE? It's bad. Straight up bad. A lot of these year 1 CEs will definitely not rank high. You'll see that for a reason, especially when we get better Cs later. Maybe right when this was new, this was alright, because there weren't obviously many gut Cs. In fact, Necromancy might have been the other only one, if that was even on launch, I don't remember. But you'll be seeing later that there's other gut Cs here, then they all do something else as well. It doesn't even come with like a massive amount of bonus HP or anything. I believe this is like a baseline HP for these welfare 5-star gut Cs anyway, and this has just the guts, a one-time guts for 1k HP on full HP stat lines. So this is definitely, I would say, easily the weakest of the welfare 5-star gut Cs. I almost keep saying gotcha all the time, but yeah, how about that? Is the only 2k HP C? It might, honestly, I'm not sure. I guess we'll see later, but yeah, there you go. So it's not completely useless, honestly, but I'm not going to place it in the why exclamation point question mark here. I'm just going to place it in the it just sucks. It just kind of sucks in comparison to all the other ones. There's not really ever a reason for you to pick this up. I just realized, again, because this list goes from the order of oldest to newest, we're probably going to be looking at a lot of these lower placements first, because a lot of these old CEs in nowadays standards are just not that good. Anyway, next up, I have a list here to look at the names, so it makes it a bit easier. We have Moonlight Festival. This is a fun event for everyone that played that. You probably have Dango PTSD. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then honestly, you're lucky. Anyway, this was the Orion event where she or Artemis was added into the game, basically. Now, this CE right here, oh. So what are we dealing with? MLB, we got a 20% star generation and 20% crit damage on split stats, huh? Yeah, split stats. Have you guys also noticed, now that we're on this topic, that they don't really put star generation into CEs anymore? I think they start to realize that it's not a good effect for CEs. It's honestly not even that good for Servants in their kits. They don't really do that much either nowadays. They start to realize that instead of giving star generation, because a lot of modern Servants, they just have better hit counts on their cards. So stuff like Quick Up or Buster Up would just be better anyway, because they do other stuff besides star generation boost as well. So it's just one of those stats that is not, useless. But now it's just like, again, year one, maybe it had some value, but even then, not really, because again, the hit counts were so terrible. This CE, I don't think I've ever used a CE ever, honestly. It's not good. It's just not good. The crit damage is alright, that's about it. But again, there's going to be so many crit CEs in this entire list, and these are all free, so why the hell would you ever pick this over anything else, honestly? I have a feeling this one might be bad enough for me to even place here, to the complete, like, useless tier, the Y tier. Like, nowadays, it's just, like, you would never use that. I can't think, honestly, a single scenario where that could be the best choice, considering how many crit ones you're about to see later. So, yeah. It's even split stats, which doesn't help. If it was full attack, maybe I'd put it on D or something. But, yeah. Because of how many crit Cs there are, I'm just going to place it there. Now, the next one is very interesting. I don't even need to check the name, because if you saw that story time thing, I have a lot of history with this CE. This was the third CE of the free ones ever to be added, and also the first ever, even among the gacha ones, to have 50% starting gauge. So this CE has a lot of interesting history. Like, depending on what point of the game you're looking at this, it's either good, it's either amazing, subpar, or decent. It has a lot of ups and downs with this CE. Now, first year of the game, this is an easy EX tier CE, no questions asked. Definitely one of the best Cs you could have, year one. Now, as time went on, and we got better gacha Cs and better free ones as well, it definitely took a bit of a dive in comparison to some of the other stuff. But then, again, later on, when they released a certain Mothman called Oberon, who happens to have a skill that, acts as an MP damage amplifier, so the more MP damage you have, the better value you get from that skill, it did gain a bit of a value surge, yet again. Now, what does the CE actually do besides that stuff? We have the 50% starting gauge, 20% MP damage on that MLB, and then it split stats. I still think, because of the release of Oberon, it is still a good CE for sure, even on split stats. If this was full attack, this would be really, really good. But because it's split stats, and because there's so many other good ones here with 50%ers that have full attack, it does damage it. Definitely. For sure. Oh yeah, and it's early split stats, so it's not even, the number isn't as even high as it should be for the levels, which is true. They changed those a bit later. It's an interesting C for sure. I almost still want to place it in an A tier. It's like A or B plus, I think. I agree with Cadillac there. Like, it's still not bad by any means. We might start with B plus or something, I don't know. It's certainly very usable still. Again, if it was full attack, it would be like at least A plus for sure. At least. Maybe even EX, honestly. But we'll start with B plus. We'll take it a little chill here. But yeah, this is definitely one of the better CEs released in year one, if not the best, unless I'm forgetting something, which is very possible, so there you go. At least that one, pretty good to this day. Now the next one, it's made in Halloween, I believe. Yes, indeed it is. This is another Halloween 1C, because there were two free 5-star Cs. Okay, I can't type. Oh. Okay, here we go. This is a very unique CE, honestly. So, it is a healing received up CE with full HP on the stats. 75% incoming healing received goes up. It's a very interesting CE for the effect. Not necessarily in an amazing way, though, honestly. It's good for the fact that, it's full HP, because usually for effects like this, you would not put it on a DPS. But then again, I think it would be a lot better if it was healing increased instead of healing received, right? Because I'm pretty sure those are different effects, right? This is just, this increases the healing the wearer receives. So, I don't know how to feel about that, honestly. It's a bit awkward, for sure. But yeah, I guess, yeah, for those lovely Iris feel solos, well, there you go. You can definitely keep yourself topped up, I suppose. But besides that, I like that it's still to this day pretty unique in terms of its effects and whatnot, but I wouldn't really say it still has a lot of uses. Not really. If it was healing up done by the wearer, then it would be certainly a lot better, have a lot more use cases, but because it's healing received instead of healing up, then, I don't know. It's kind of weak, honestly. Very, very rarely would you ever even consider using this. I think I can still put it to D because it has a very, like that Iris Feel solo stuff, etc. It's not completely useless. But besides that, I probably would never use the C, honestly. I just can't see myself ever using this CE. So yeah, year one looking pretty grim so far, for most of it. I can understand if someone plays it here as well, but because it has at least the smallest of ever uses, then I don't know. We'll keep it in there for now. Cool, then we have another crit one. I believe this is the Gouda CE. Yes, this is from Gouda 1. Let's see here. Has a cool artwork at least, the comic book panels. So what does this do? Hey, it's the first full attack CE. That's a cool thing. So it goes up to 2k attack. Actual good number as well. So that's a good start. Then you have 20% crit damage and 20% MP damage. Like, that's not bad. That's actually legit. So there you go. That's pretty good, I would say. It's not the best of the combos, honestly, but it's 2 offensive effects with decent numbers and full attack, so, you know, obviously it's still good. The only thing that's down is like it's not the best combination, like I said, but still, this is definitely usable for sure. I think I can easily agree with chat and kind of slide it in here with the Halloween Princess. Again, if there weren't so many Cs with similar effects, it could probably be, again, year one, this would be an A or an A plus easily. Easily. For sure it would be really good. But now this is 2022, 7 years into the game. Because the combination is awkward, we can be a bit more taxing, right? For sure. Again, and especially when all of this stuff is free. So if you've played, you've had the option to get all of the other stuff as well. So how about that? Still pretty good. Now we're getting to Christmas one in Holy Night Sign. This is the HNS that is not the good one, sadly. By HNS, we usually talk about Holy Night Supper, which you will see later for Christmas 2, but now, first of all, we have the original HNS that no one ever talks about. Holy Night Sign, that is. So Christmas 1 Welfare CE. First of all, split stats. And then for the MLB effect, we have 10% quick up and 20% crit damage. Immediately another 20% crit damage. If this was full attack, it's actually even better than Gudao, because this combo is much better than like crit damage and MP damage, because quick tends to generate a lot of stars anyway, so this would be a lot better. But because it's split stats, I would say it's still probably worse than Gudao, honestly. So this is the HNS that no one talks about. The other HNS that we'll see sooner than later will be the much better one, if anything. This one, I would probably slide into a C+, which is around average. Maybe it goes lower later, depending on the comparisons, but I'm just gonna slide it into average. That's it. The effects are good, the combo is good, but split stats definitely holds it down a lot in comparison to the other ones. Ooh, the Saber Wars 1 CEs. Oh no, oh no, no. Okay, we're gonna start with Purely Bloom. Okay. Dude, you know what's funny? There's 2 free Cs for Saber Wars 1. Both of them are still better than the 5-star Gacha CE. I'm so sad you can't see it right now, but the next list you will see it. It's arguably the worst 5-star CE in the game. It's so bad. But anyway, we're going to talk about the welfare Cs here. So, what do we have? Full attack. Cool. And then stacking MP damage every turn. Up to 50% on MLB. So it takes 10 turns to get 50% MP damage. I like that it's full attack. And it's great that the potential is high. But it's so slow. So slow. If this was a supporty effect instead, I think it could be better. Like a stacking supportive effect. For a like MP per turn that goes higher and higher or something like that. Something that helps. Or maybe stars per turn that gets higher and higher. But it's so slow. I would say too slow. Because there's so many other good MP damage. Even the free ones. There's so many good ones that you would definitely use over this one. And remember, even on max like stacks, it's still less damage than Black Grail. Granted, it has the demerit, but honestly, it's a joke of a demerit, so... Yeah, it's like you have to wait 10 turns to get a worse Black Grail. Yes, it's a gacha CE compared to this, but still, like, come on, dude. That doesn't sound too appetizing, honestly. It's not completely useless by any means, but it's certainly on the weaker side. I'm thinking D+. Is not as bad as these, but again, just... Would not really ever really see myself using it though over the other MP damage options. Mostly because it's full attack as well, which is nice. So that's about it. We'll see if I'll swap that later. Then we have Star of Artillery. I believe this is a Gutsy, right? So this should already... Oops. This should already be better than the Nightless Rose or whatever it's called, right? Yeah, Nightless Rose. Okay. Indeed it is, by quite a bit. The Guts is actually only 1 HP instead of the 1k. It doesn't scale, but it is full attack, which I like. And then it has the 10% debuff as a bonus, I guess. I would still say this is on the weaker side of all the, you know, free gacha Cs, or not gacha Cs, but the welfare Cs, when it comes to Guts effects. But it's certainly better than Nightless Rose, which honestly doesn't take much at all, so... Yeah, I agree, it's still pretty dog, to quote Jord here. I like the use of the word dog. I'm still gonna put this right... I'm gonna put both of them in the same tier. There you go, both of them in same tier. Honestly, sometimes the 1 HP could be an upside for someone like Hijikata, for instance, or Anne and Mary, who actually scale with lower HP. So sometimes the less HP Guts could be a better thing, but only in those cases that, you know, have that... damage scaling based on missing HP. So I'm gonna put them both there for pretty damn low. So we're still going on with year 1. It is not looking good. Okay. And the next one. Oh, the next one. Oh, it breaks my heart because the art is so good. Oh, it breaks my heart, man. So we're gonna have not Halloween, Valentine's 1. Oh god. Oh, this is the wrong thing. God damn it. Whoops. My short-term memory is biting me in the ass. Melty Sweetheart, here we go. I very much like this art because it's drawn by Haimura, who does the art for the Index light novels, for instance, for people that don't know. I read those, so I love the artist as well. But anyway, what do we got? First of all, full HP. Not necessarily a bad thing, honestly, if it's a supportive CE, and indeed it is. But then the effect. The effect. First of all, 20% star gen. Why? And then... defense up against melee by 100%. Sounds good, but then you realize it's only 3 attacks. Like, if you're gonna have a slow-ass CE, which is clearly meant for, like, bosses, not only does this, you lose this effect very fast, what the hell is this effect? Why does it have why is it not like stars per turn? Why isn't it MP per turn? Why isn't it a damage cut? Why isn't it anything that could make your support better? Why is it star generation? Not a single support, besides like maybe Osaka, Behim, and some others, can actually make any use out of that, honestly. Such a weird C. Now, it can have some cool uses, because obviously, if the enemy doesn't have like defense down on you, or like a lot of buffs, you can fully negate attacks from male enemies, but that's again only if they're unbuffed As soon as they get buffs to counter some of that number, it still doesn't fully negate stuff. You're better off running stuff like X times invul hits or X times evade hits in the most cases anyway. So even though it has a cool niche, it's just not executed well, honestly. Can't really think too many reasons to where I would ever find myself even considering to use this CE. Besides the awesome art by Haimura, but okay. I want to place it in Y, honestly. Maybe you could think of a cute niche use for it, but again, because of the other stuff existing, it's just why? Just why, honestly? I don't... If it was anything else than Star Generation, like an actual cool, useful effect, then maybe I would consider a D or something. But Star, it's so... Like, not only is it a shit effect, a part of my French, it's, like, completely misplaced on a CE like that to begin with. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, bad effect and misplaced, you know it's bad. Oh no, okay, we get to K and K. Now, it's not all bad, but one of them is certainly, like, you know, pretty damn bad. We're gonna start with the better one for sure, which is Decapitating Bunny. Funnily enough, this actually made them do the Shiki Saber costume eventually with Summer 4. That's kind of nice. So, what do we got? Full attack, that's cool. Ignores invul. And also comes with quick up by 10%. So it's actually not bad at all. It is good. Now there's going to be a lot of ignore invul Cs here among the free ones. So comparison will happen. But honestly, I would say this is definitely a great CE. Like good. For if you need that invul pierce and your DPS is quick, this is probably a top option, honestly. Yeah, I do agree the value is a bit gimped. The ignore invul is not that valuable. This should be like 15% or something. Probably year 1 design, whatever. But still, is not bad by any means, honestly. This is one of the best Cs of year 1, if anything. It's either a B plus or an A. Maybe I'll still keep it in B plus for now, honestly. Because the value is a bit gimped. If it was 15% quick, certainly at least an A. We'll keep it here for now. Maybe I'll change my mind later once we place the other invul pierce ones as well. I know the best one already from the top of my head. But let's see here. And then we have to look at the other one. Oh no, threefold barrier. Oh no, dude. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Many people don't even know the CE exists if you didn't play the K&K event. It is not good. Okay. Full HP and then a damage cut for 1200, but only for 3 attacks and there's no other effect. What the hell? You thought the Mashu CE was bad? This is even worse. This is even worse, dude. What the hell? Why would you ever in a million years pick this? And if this is the only effect and it's only for 3 attacks, this should be at least a 3000 damage cut. This doesn't even make you take 0 damage. A crit would still damage you for sure. This would only help with like non-critical face guard damage taken. Like, how is this in the same event as Decapitating Bunny? It makes no sense. Year 1 is some real wacky game design, okay? This is arguably the worst CE in this entire list. Unless I'm forgetting something, which is possible. This honestly is an argument to be made to the worst of the whole list. Okay, like damage cut normally good, but if it's done like this, then yikers. Yeah, this is the easiest Y ever. Easiest Y. Okay. Just never use that CE. Just absolutely not. Moving on, we got the Jolter event. It actually has 3 free 5-star CEs. That's kind of crazy when you think about it. We're gonna start with School of Chaldea. This is kind of an interesting one. We're finally getting the second free CE with 50% starting gauge. It is this one. So, what do we got? Split stats. Usually never the best case scenario, honestly. But you do have that 50% starting gauge like Halloween Princess, but instead of MP damage, you have healing, again, not done, but received up by 30%. Again, at the time of this release, it would still be a fairly high tier, but even then, not super high tier, just because of the 50% starting age. But now, 7 years and over into the game, God knows how many free 50%ers we have. This is certainly among the bottom of all of them. Healing done would certainly be better, again, much like with Made in Halloween. Healing received is... it's just not that big. Like, healing tends to be one of the weakest defensive mechanics in the game anyway, because the hardest bosses either one-shot you or just do 0 damage if you have good defenses. Healing tends to not be amazing. It's obviously nice to have, but usually it's not like what makes you live or die. And you can, you know, you should still be fine even without bonuses like this if you end up actually getting use of healing. Doesn't really make that big of a deal. Art is cute, yeah, I agree, but this is not an art list. I would say, even despite being a 50% starter, it's one of the Ds for sure, I think. Even if, because again, there's so many 50%ers, and it splits stats as well. It doesn't really have anything big going for it, honestly. Not really anything. Maybe consider, the only reason I'm considering D+ is because it's unique in the healing received up, but then again, it's not a good effect to begin with, so yeah, it's rare and cool, but because it's not even that good, I'm still gonna keep it in D, I think. Damn, year 1. Yikers. I keep saying that, but yeah. Now, the other 2 free ones are actually interesting. In a good way, I would say. First of all, we got Holy Maiden. I should have included clickable links here, but whatever, it's okay. Holy Maiden leading Chaldea, here we go. This is an interesting one. Full attack, great. Stars per turn, and buster up 15%. Now, this is actually a fairly legit crit DPS CE. For like a buster servant, obviously. It's not bad. The effect is a bit lower on the lower side, yeah, but still, actually, it's legit. It's certainly legit. I understand why they made this CE, because this event was where they released Jalter as well, so this CE is actually not that bad on her. I see a lot of people who played the event actually using this on her. In my opinion, not her best choice by a long shot, but certainly a very solid one. I would say this as well is like a B+. Maybe even A, honestly. This is a hard one. We'll start with this again. Maybe shifting later, but again, it's solid. It's just solid. No real big problems with it. Then the other one is even more unique. We got Mpieta or whatever. I think the C has a different name on an A. It's like the Forgotten one or something. Let's see. The Merciless one. Okay. So this one is interesting. First of all, it's full attack, which honestly is good despite the effect. Because this is a cool one. When you die, your other frontline members get 20% gauge on the MOB. And this doesn't really matter too much for the use, but it does have 15% buster up as well. If anything, it's good that it's attack instead of HP, because usually you use these in setups anyway for units that are supposed to die. That's all the CE is. It's just for setups, basically, right? I would never use this in anything else than setups like this where this party gauge is useful. It's still better than like the 3-star option in Battling Camlan, which is only 15%. Obviously, that has the upside of being a 3-star cost CE, while this has a hefty cost of 12, being a 5-star CE, but still, to this day, actually a very usable setup CE, for sure. Yeah, this is for the level 1 Georges out there, or the Leonidases and everything. This is a very common you see in solos for your units that are meant to die, for sure. If only it increases party buster performance. Yeah, imagine that. I think this is one of the A's, honestly, for its intended purpose. It's not like the most common purpose out there, obviously. It's not like it's an amazing purpose, but it's for the purpose it's used for. It's among the best ones, honestly. I can't really see myself placing it in EX, though, but I might be willing to make a case for A+ here, honestly. I think EX is a bit too high. If soloing was like the best way to clear shit, maybe I would put it in EX. I mean, sometimes it actually is very good, but not always. So just because of that, I think I'm gonna leave it in A+. Still, good CE for sure. Arguably the best of, like, actually, at least in terms of the defeated MP gauge stuff, it is the best. But yeah, there you go. Now moving on, we got this is Fate Zero event, right? I believe. Funnily enough, it introduced a lot of 5-star Cs, but only one of them was free. So we'll see the other ones, for better or worse, in the other tier list. So we got the rightful place one. This is I've always kind of liked the C. It's definitely not amazing, but I'll tell you why. First of all, the art is cute. It's also drawn by Takeuchi. I like it. But now you might be saying split stats again, it's not great. I agree. But when you look at the effects, honestly, it's a cool little thing for once. It's another one of these 50% starting gauge Cs, and then the only other effect is stars per turn. Now, in my opinion, the reason this CE is good is not because of the combination of things, but because of how versatile it is. This is a CE you can literally run on anyone. No joke. Split stats, support, DPS, that's fine. Stars per turn, support, DPS, yeah, starting gauge, same thing. You can run this on anyone. Absolutely anyone. It's so vague with the stats and it's usable on anyone. It's never gonna be the best choice for anyone. This is the jack of all trades, master of none. So obviously, when you do have the better options, you usually go with those because you can you have the option to target the strengths of the servants instead of having decent all-rounder C like this. But this is one of the most versatile 5-star Cs in the game, in my opinion. I'm still not going to give it a super high rating, but I like the fact that it's just so versatile. Honestly, I would say this is definitely a B+, maybe even A, honestly. Because in the whole list, this may actually be the most versatile C in the game. For anyone. DPS, support, tank, whatever, dude. It's certainly in the conversation. We'll keep it in there for now. Maybe I'll lower it later, but who knows. Good C. But I think the value definitely does go down when you have a lot of options. But if you don't have a ton of options, then yeah, it's absolutely up there. Next one is also an interesting one, The Wandering Tales of Shanao. Let's see. It's another one of these similar to the Empieta one, which does stuff when your unit dies, basically. Now, it's split stats. Arguably, you'd want it to be full attack so your unit dies easier. So what does this do? First of all, like the other one, this also has a card type up for the wielder. Quick up 15% instead of the buster up. But now, when you die, instead of giving your party gauge, you do give them quick for 30%, but it's only for one turn. So, this is usually only used for, like, one-shots. So, it's definitely not as good as the Jolter one. I think it's actually John in the scene, now that I think about it. Yeah, but whatever, you get my point. This is definitely not as good. This is way more niche. That should be a 3-turn quick up for sure. Definitely. It being one turn, it's just not that good. I like that it's unique, because there's still not that many Cs like this that do different stuff when you die, but still, it's so weak, it's not that good. I would say a C, honestly. Whoops, what did I just let it in there. Yes, I would say a C here, so just below average. Just because it's still niche and it can see use, but the use case is very small, and the effect is weak, so there you go. I would say it's an easy flat C. Doesn't that mean the quick buff is gone once the enemy stops attacking? No, because okay, I'll quickly explain how duration works with debuffs and buffs. So for buffs, they tick down at the end of your attack cycle, which means before the enemy goes, right? Now, what that means is that when the enemy goes and they kill your unit, that means you've already ticked down your attack buff. So the next time your buffs tick down is after the next turn when you attack again. So you will always have that one turn of that quick up, granted the others survive to have it. And the way debuffs work, they tick down after the enemy goes. So it's an easy way to remember. Enemy goes, debuffs go down, you go, buffs go down. So yeah, it's not a way. You don't have to take use of it in the same turn. That would be impossible anyway, now that I think about it. Yeah, because you can't attack in the same turn after you die. So anyway, you get my point, hopefully. Whoa, the next one. I love it. Oof, it's already there. This is still year one. We're not in the first anniversary yet, I think. It's actually hard to tell in this list when the year, when we go to a different year happens. I think it's after summer. In the gacha one, it's easy to tell because you have the 5-star anniversary C, but this one, it's kind of hard to tell. Anyway, it doesn't really matter anyway. I think this is still year 1. So next one, we have Golden Carp. One of my all-time favorite CEs for sure. I love this CE. It's my go-to Star Bomb CE for sure. Whenever I need a Star Bomb, 9 times out of 10, this is the one I use. So, full attack, cool, and then a 50% starting gauge with that standard 20 Star Bomb on an SSR CE. Now, for frontline stuff, it's not that good. Unless you have a DPS that just wants to MP immediately, that might need stars as well, then yeah, it actually has frontline stuff as well. The real reason I think this C is amazing is for backliners. It's such a huge boost to your start. Like, think of it like this. Your backline comes in, they get like the biggest shove on their back with the 50% starting gauge and the 20 star bomb, immediately getting 2 effects that have a lot of impact. So when you come in, you can already start working with a decent amount of stuff here. And because it's full attack, it means that, yeah, it's good for DPSing as well. Very cool. Very, very cool. It is definitely my favorite Star Bomb CE in the entire game. And it was the first one of the 5-star CEs, which is kind of cool, I guess. So for one, they actually did something correct with the earlier game design. This is fairly easy to use. I would say at least an A+, maybe even EX, because it is, in my opinion, the best Star Bomb C in the game. Is that enough to put it into EX? Possibly. Very possibly, honestly. Because I do think it is the best Star Bomb CE in the game. Because the other reason why it gains more points is because they don't really do Star Bombs with gacha CEs, right? So you don't even have other options on the other side of these 5-star CEs. It is literally the best of the best of all 5-star CEs in the game. So if anything, that means it should be EX, right? Yeah. Hide Hunter is the other really good one, obviously, and you'll see that later. But this, in my opinion, has easier and more common use than Hide Hunter does. Yeah. There you go. Love Golden Carp. Man, these Rashomon and Onigashima, we have some good welfare CEs, huh? You'll see the other one soon, and you already know about it. There's another one as well, but yeah, it's actually not that bad either. But before we get to, I believe, Onigashima, because this was Rashomon, I believe, we have Go West in the middle. So let's talk about Go West CEs. Spoiler, they're not good. They're not good. All right, we got the 3 great heroes, first of all. Ooh, warning, you're about to see Star Generation trigger warning. Anyway, first of all, split stats. You hate to see it. MP damage, 20%. Cool. Star Gen, 20%. And then a 40% MLB star. Why? Why? This CE is the definition of all over the place. Why? Why? Even if it was 50%, which it absolutely should be, by the way. This is stupid. Even if it was 50%, this would still not be a great CE, honestly, to this day's standards. It would be, like, barely okay. But at 40%, that's such an awkward number to work with, man. 50% is so much easier to work with. It's like you might think it's not a big difference. It is. Starting with 40 or 50 is a huge difference. It's big. It's really big. It's a big hit, honestly. Ay, ay, ay. The only thing I like about this CE is 20% MP damage. That's it. Everything else, kind of garbage bin material, honestly. It's way too all over the place, and the effects are not good either, so it's just not a good combination. I'm gonna place it in D, because it's not complete garbage, but it's so bad that I can't, it has to be a low tier. It just has to be a low tier. I don't think I've really ever picked this C outside of the event itself. Anyway, the other one is actually cool. It's a spoiler, it's actually not amazing either, but it's at least a very unique case once again. Divine Princess of the Storm. This is a defensive CE, and one of those that, again, does stuff when you die. Now, again, arguably it would be maybe better if it was full attack instead of full HP, because you want the wielder to die, because unlike the other ones, this doesn't even have anything else that helps you unless you die. This doesn't even have that quick up or buster up, but hey, at least this is not bad. So it's not just one turn like the Ushi one. When you die, your alive party members in the field get 25% defense up for 3 turns. Like, that is actually a significant boost to your defense. Also, this is Nightingale for those asking in the art. I wish it was attack instead, so it's easier. Not always a big deal, honestly, but attack would make it a bit easier to work with. But it's actually not that bad. This could actually sometimes have use. That 3 turns makes a difference, for sure. Now, where would I place this? It's a very unique case. I do think it has way more use cases than the Ushi one. It's either a C+ or a B, in my opinion. Maybe even a B, honestly. It is very unique, and the effect is solid, so there's nothing else that really does the same thing. I think this is actually the only CE that does give you defense up on death, right? Pretty sure it is, actually. It's not amazing, but it's the only thing that does it, and it does it in a decent way, so... yeah, there you go. This CE could absolutely have uses. Yeah, outside of Bond C stuff, I suppose. Not bad, Hiatus. Does the 3 turns count for the turn that is defeated? I believe no. Again, because it's a buff. Buffs tick down at the end of your attack phase, including defensive buffs, right? So at this point, when the unit dies, it's after the enemy goes. So it doesn't tick it down from the enemy going. So pretty sure you get 3 turns after the unit dies with this, which is nice. Then the other Go West interesting scene, and the real one that everyone always talks about, which is something that's used way more than those two. Spoiler. Is this the CE? No, this is a skill, I believe. Does it not have a hyphen here or something? Oops. Well, this is interesting. Oh, is it called Demonox? Let's search for it. Ah, here we go. Ox Demon King. Okay, cool. Slight technical difficulties. Anyway, this is awesome. I like this C a lot. So first of all, full attack. Honestly, it's not a big deal if it's attack or HP, but I kind of prefer it to be attack, because usually you want the wielders of the sea to kind of die anyway. Because this is mostly used for setups, obviously, because the effect is when the unit holding this enters the field, not defeated this time, just enters the field, your whole front line gets 3 turns of 15% buster up. Actually kind of cool. They haven't done this with Quick or Arts. I can see why. But with at least we have the Buster version. That is very cool. This CE still to this day actually has a lot of uses. Obviously just for setups. There's no reason to bring this CE if you're not doing some kind of a setup. But for these setups, it is great. A lot of times it might not be needed, because you're probably stacked with buffs anyway, but you know. Rather use this than like something that does nothing for the setup anyway, so it's just a bonus, you know? Definitely. I want to say it's like an A+ with the... These are like some of the best of these super niche CEs with the Jolter one, honestly. Ox King is easily usable. I use it all the time, mostly with challenge quests, but still, I use it like every month, pretty much. And again, there's nothing else that does this, so... yeah. Cool stuff. If there were other ones, maybe I would bump it a bit down, but this is still like on the top side. There are some Bond Cs that have similar effects in auras, so you don't even have the duration, obviously. But sometimes it's better that it's a buff than an aura, because auras only work when the unit is fielded. Let's say you have this on someone and they die, you still get to keep the rest of the buff, even if, you know, someone else comes in, which usually tends to be preferable for the setups anyway. So there you go. Oh, yeah. Now we get to Onigashima, I believe. Okay, dude. Okay. One of the most famous CEs in terms of the free ones of them all. Arguably the most famous one, if any. I don't know. There's a lot of them, but yeah, this one. Golden Sumo. If you don't know what Golden Sumo is, I don't know what to tell you. First of all, full attack. Amazing. 50% starting gauge. So not only... is this the first 50% starting gauge with full attack, by the way, of the free ones? And then the secondary effect is just, yeah, 15% attack up. Like, talk about taking the world by storm when it comes to free CEs. Yeah, Oof. Just ridiculous. Like, attack up on a CE is like one of the most rarest things. I believe it's only like 1 or 2 Cs that does it. And this one is easily the best one. It is stupid. Obviously, the more attack your servant has, the better. But, yeah. Now, obviously, it is an easy EX. But I have to say, a side note, I do agree with Jord that, you know, it's never the best of the best options, but it's a CE you can use on anyone and it makes them better for DPSing. But for many, it's not the best option ever. But it's still, like, so good. It's just so good. It's, like, ridiculously good. It improves every DPS in the game, no matter how you look at it. Even if it's not the best option for the servant. It's still the best option for Buster Loop is 50% in it. I don't think so, because of, at least if you're using Oberon, you probably want MP damage instead. But yeah, for Buster Looping, it's still amazing, obviously, because they don't give you attack up. So yeah, obviously, yeah, it's amazing there too, regardless. So yeah, Golden Carp, Golden Sumo. Kintoki looking pretty good on the CE tier list, huh? Yeah. Yeah, like George said, the Bunny and CE tends to be better than this for Buster Looping, but still a top option for that too. Oh, I completely forgot about talking about levels. Maybe I'll do it at the end, though. You know what? Yeah, maybe after I've placed everything, I give you recommendations to, like, level 50, level 100, whatever. But I can already tell you at this point, if you have a Golden Sumo, MLB, and it's not level 100, you probably should fix that. It's one of the easiest Cs you should level to 100. Or one of the easiest choices. It's a no-brainer. Like, this CE of all the CEs is the biggest no-brainer to level. Because literally, the attack is nice to have, but it also makes the effect of the CE better. Because this also gets counted. This is added to your servant's attack, and then you get the 15% from your servant's attack. So it has, like, double the value when you think about it. In my opinion, it has the best value of all CEs, besides, like, Black Grail and K-Scope to level 100 or something like that. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Moving on, the second Onigashima free CE is Hot Spring. Actually, I kind of like the CE too. Now, it's not as, you know, crazy good as Golden Sumo, but it's a nice CE, I would say. Is Golden Sumo free CE? Oh, these are all free, my dude. This is the free 5-star CEs list. Next week, or whenever I can do it, is the gacha ones. So, full attack again. Cool. Do they even do this nowadays? Like, give 2 full attack Cs in the same event? I don't think so. Maybe they do. I don't know. But yeah, this event did that. And you get 25% crit damage and 4 stars per turn. Cool combo. Max at, like, full attack. It is definitely really, really good. Like, this event was very nice for free CEs. In fact, from what I remember, the gacha CE was not even as good. And not even close to being it. It was like dumplings over flowers, I think. Unless that was Rush Shellman. Anyway, there's no way the gacha Cs were as good as the free ones in this event. For sure. Yeah, now that's synergy, I agree. And you gotta keep in mind as well, it's not only is it a good combo, but because it's not, like, tied to a card type, it's actually so good for versatility. You can use this on anyone that has focus to crits. Because it doesn't have, like, quick up. So for someone like Lancelot Saber, that would be awkward as hell. Because he only has, I believe, like, 1 quick or something. While he has crit focus otherwise. But because this doesn't focus on anything in particular, it's so nice. Like, it's just really good. You think it's the best crit C in the game, in your opinion? Highest value for crit damage of all C. I know you're being sincere when I know you don't actually even like stars per turn that much in terms of an effect, like value for an effect. So if anything, that actually adds to that point, Jord, I would say. So yeah, I think it's between these two again. I might start with A+, or I could just immediately EX it, honestly. I don't know. It's obviously a top crit C for sure. Maybe I'll just EX it, honestly. Because I love the versatility. And then the effect combo is so good and it's full attack. Like, come on, dude. If we get other amazing crit Cs as well, it might come down at the end. But I think I can actually start with EX. And yeah, remember, the events also had a Kentucky Rider as a dude. Man, those were like some of the best events for free stuff when you think about it. That's crazy, dude. That's like insane for free stuff. Oh my god. Hopefully they do like the mega reruns at some point so newer players get those as well. Insane stuff. I do agree with the statement True Knight said that it's maybe not the best still because there's a lot easier ways to get stars nowadays because of all the bombs and stuff on servants kits, but I'll still keep it there for now. We might move it later though, but we'll see. Oh, and speaking of crit CEs, oh, the next one. We get to Summer 1 as well. We got Summertime Mistress. Another really, really good CE. People don't talk about the CE enough, honestly. So, it's also full attack. 20% crit damage, and this is the starting gauge version. Like, wow. Like, how good is that? Also, Summer Camilla before Summer Carmilla was even a thing. How about that? Like, it's just really damn good, too. Same thing as the Oni one. It's also, like, something you can use on anyone that has crit focus. Still, maybe not, like, this combo is obviously still, it works, it's nice, but I kind of prefer the stars per turn with crit damage, because it's directly, like, supporting each other. This one, not very directly, especially, obviously, when MPs cannot crit. But this CE is still absolutely a really good one, and I'm actually kind of shocked it was Summer 1 of all things. Well, at least the other CE will make up for it, kinda. I think this is an A+. Pretty much. And if Oni comes down maybe later, they could still maybe be in the same tier, but at least for now I want to keep Oni a bit higher, because the effect pairing is a bit more synergetic. I don't know what to call that. Words, but there you go. Great C regardless. Yeah, we quite kind of improved in the past options a little bit. The start was so horrible. Is it synergistic? Is that the word? Okay, there you go. And then the other C from Summer 1. It's actually a Guts one. Pretty sure. I think this is one of the HP ones as well, right? If I remember correctly. So it's a more defensive-oriented one. Yeah, it's full HP, 1 time 1 HP Guts, and then MP generation. Is not actually that bad. You would not run this on your DPS, though, because of the HP. But you could maybe run this on a support, honestly. Maybe. Probably not a top tier option, though. And yeah, maybe for some solos, I agree. You could you could make the argument for this to be used in some solos as well. But again, there's so many other really amazing options. Also, yeah, the art is interesting. When do we actually get this, by the way? Just saying. You know what's funny? You might not notice immediately. Look at the bottom right corner. It's Cursed Arm just looking down from the waves. It's his mask right there. It's a very sneaky little thing. And also Jack and Ushi are standing on Babbage. There's a lot of cool little details with this. See, they're standing on Babbage right there. Anyway, this is not an art list, but this would be a high ranking for art at least. Anyway, yeah, so it's like the third Gutsy so far, I believe. This one was the best one so far. I do think it's much better than Star of Arturia, at least. Maybe a C+, honestly? Like, just average. Because it does have some use cases. Maybe even a B, because it's, like, not just for supports, maybe for some solos as well. Yeah, okay. Let's put it just above average. Because it has some solo potential, and because it has some support potential. I don't think in either case it will probably ever be the best option. But those are definitely some options. And yeah, for Guts CEs, even though you might not need that for your supports, this might be the best Guts CE for support. But again, you might want to run something else on your support anyway, chances are. So, you know, I'll just leave it there. Wow, okay, oh, now we're definitely year 2, because it's time for the second Nerofest. Did they improve on the CE? I think they did, but from what I remember, not by much. Pretty sure it's not a big improvement. Princess of the White Rose. Nightless Rose was garbage. What is this? We got split stats. Okay. Then you get 1 HP Guts. Okay. And then 20% starting gauge. I don't know, man. Like, it's not good. It's just not good. Like, why? Like, even if it's split stats, I would still run Chaldea Lifesavers, the one we saw just now, over this one on a DPS as well. I don't get it. It's better than Knightless Rose, probably. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, it is better than Knightless Rose because it does have this, and it has at least some attack where it has only HP and a shit amount of HP, only 2k. The 1 HP Gutch doesn't really matter that much compared to 1k, honestly. So either I move... Okay, so it's like here, unless I want to move Knightless Rose down and put it to D. Maybe I can put it to the same tier as Star of Altria, though. Maybe. Yeah, maybe it's fair to be on the same tier. But honestly, I think Knightless Rose should be here, right? Yeah, okay. Maybe like that. We'll do it like that. Man, Narrowfest so far looking like garbage. But hey, this one had 2 CEs, so I think we might actually see something good from a Narrowfest finally. Because this one had 2 CEs. So the next one is... Joint Recital. Ooh, okay. Finally, we can move from the garbage. Cool. Okay, if you like Buster crits, you've probably heard of this CE. Yeah, full attack, 20% Buster up, 20% crit damage. Is nice. So what was the other one? We had... This is a good comparison to the Gudao one, right? That had... I believe crit damage and MP damage, right? With full attack, the first good. This is a very comparable CE to that. I kind of prefer this, honestly, even though this is not as generic, but I like the combo more anyway, honestly. I would prefer this over the Gudao CE from Gudao 1. Even if this is more specific, because again, it's okay for CEs to... They don't have to be super niche, because again... You can pick whatever you want. If you have a good selection, you should always be specific to your servant if possible. Obviously, I do give a bit of bonus points for versatility for people that don't have big CE collections. But if you do have that, then obviously you would always just pick the niche that fits the servant. And to this day, this is still a top Buster crit CE over 7 years later. I agree, Paolo, yeah. It really is. It's still definitely up there. So Gudao was B. This is at least an A. Maybe honestly an A+. I would maybe honestly put this on A+. It is really good. It is really, really good. Yeah, I think this is this definitely is a fair A+. So good job, Narrowfest. At least you gave us something good so far. Not just very, very bad gut CEs. Okay. I do think Like a Bird might be better, honestly, but we'll see when we get to that. I might honestly just put it to EX. We'll see. Depending on where I put it, that we might move this, but yeah, we'll see. It's much later, obviously. So, now we move on to Halloween 2. We got, is it Hero Ellie's Adventure? Something like that. There you go. Oh, Heroin. How do you pronounce that? No, it's heroin, right? Heroin is a drug. Okay, ignore that. Okay, I always have trouble pronouncing... Yeah, okay, whatever. Moving on. Okay. So, this is honestly very similar to Joint Recital. It's funny because they were back-to-back. Yeah, again, full attack, Buster up. Not only 15% compared to 20 from Joint Recital, but 25% MP damage. They are both just very solid, honestly. Very good. Now, I think I'm probably not going to rate this as high as Joint Recital, because this is my reasoning. I think MP damage would be better with Quick, and especially with Arts, because they have an easier time to get to the MPs, right? Whereas crits is very easy for Buster Servants more often enough, so that's why I like Joint Recital more. It's usually not the easiest thing to get the Buster MPs going, especially when you start with 0 gauge. But it is a good scene nonetheless, for sure. And obviously some Buster Servants have really good gains. Most of them don't, but some actually do. And this would be a great option for them. For someone like Gilgamesh, for instance, this is really, really good. Especially because he doesn't even have Buster up in his kit. And he has good gains, so it's not really a hard thing to get his MP regardless. So I would rate this a... It's either an A or a B+, I would say. Maybe I can put it to A, honestly. I do think Joint Recital has more uses, though. Seems like chat is pretty split on this as well. Can use it as a black rail replacement for Buster units who can BG like Cascu. True. But still, it's only a replacement still, yeah. It is the Buster Royal Icing, you're right. Although I do think Royal Icing might still be better, because it's much better on arts, like I said. Yeah, I'll keep it in A for now, though. We'll see. Again, all of this stuff is subject to change, especially towards the end. Oh, here we go. I was talking about my favorite Invulpir CE. Well, at least this is one of them. There's a lot of really cool ones, but Sweet Crystal is certainly in the conversation. Here we go. So yeah, Invulpirs. Much like the Decapitating Bunny, both are full attack, have the Invulpirs, but instead of 10% quick, this one has a much more nice effect in 50% starting gauge. Oh yes. It is so generic, so usable, so nice. This is one of the best Invulpir CEs in the game, including gacha ones, honestly. It is definitely in that conversation. I would say nothing less than an A+, at least. I think it's between A+ and EX. It might just be, in my opinion, the highest deserving rank of all the Invulpir CEs, maybe. I would maybe even go less too far as to say that. It's close. But I might just drop it in A+ for now. It is still really good. That was Valentine's too, right? So wait, why was it in this slot? Are some of these a bit missed? This wasn't Halloween, right? I think some of these might be a bit misplaced, but it's fine. It's not like the order really matters too much. Also, it might have been that I accidentally slid some of these as well, but it is fine. It's fine. Anyway, oh yeah, we actually got to it, yeah, because it's Christmas too. We got the good version of the HNS. Not just Holy Night Sign this time, which was kind of subpar. Now we get the good one. Okay, most people already know what's up, but still. A good old Drunk Jolter C, HNS. Full attack, 50% starting gauge, 15% crit damage, and 15% MP damage. Ooh, mama. Obviously still not the greatest trio effects, but man, that's a lot of stuff, man. That's a lot of stuff, and it's full attack. Like, oof. That is very, very solid, for sure. Yeah, this is certainly in the conversation for another EX tier CE. I could maybe see the argument to be placed it in A+, but I would kind of feel dirty not placing it in EX, honestly. But I don't know. It's tough. It's certainly a really damn amazing CE, though. Ay. Oops. This is a tough one. Like Sumo for crits and MP. Yeah, maybe honestly nowadays it could be an A+, honestly. We'll see. I might have to slide this down as well then, honestly. We might just do this. But if I do this, does that mean I have to move Summertime Mistress down? Is HNS better? I would argue that HNS is better. It's only a difference of 5% crit, and you get MP damage as well. I feel like HNS is better than Summertime Mistress, at least. Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen, but it's fine. We can adjust in the fly. When you have the comparison, it's there's a lot more stuff to think about, right? Obviously, yeah, if this was MP game, it would be one of the best Cs in the game, for sure, but, yeah. Okay, we'll slide Summertime down, yeah, I can agree with that. We'll do it like this for now, okay? We'll do it like this. I feel like this is alright. So far, we're back to just Kentucky ruling on the, EX side, huh? So be it. Oh, dude, more good CEs. Oh. We get a CE which name I will never attempt to even pronounce. Because it's French. We just call it the Arjuna CE, basically. Cool! So, if you don't know what the CE does, well, you should. Full attack, 50% starting gauge, and divine damage by 30%. It's a CE with a power mod, and a very, very solid power mod at that as well. Ooh, mama. Yeah, so many bosses are divine is such a commonly used CE if you have it. I love this CE, needless to say. It is just toppity tippers. for sure. I would say this is an easy EX. I don't see an argument to be made. Because it's such a common power mod, and it's just very good for the stats and the effects besides that as well. It is certainly an EX tier CE. Now, would I say, this is another thing to consider, because you can actually still get it, even if you didn't play the event, but if to MLB it, you would have to get 25 rare prisms. Would I say it's worth it? Hard to say, honestly. It's still niche after all. I'm not sure if that would be worth it for most people. If you have a lot of them, obviously, yeah, easy worth. But if you don't have a ton of RP, you might have some other stuff to buy instead, like mystic codes, etc. That might be worth more your time. So in that case, maybe not the worth it. But if you can afford it, then absolutely, yeah. Cool. Dude, I'm not even sure. I might be getting a migraine here. That sucks if that's true. I'm gonna keep going for a while, though. I'm not sure if I'm actually having an over right now. I knew it was bound to happen at some point, sooner than later, because I haven't had one in like 2 weeks. That kind of sucks. Dude, and today was a big day as well, so obviously there's a lot of pressure. Yeah, I think it might be an orb. I'm gonna keep going for a while, though. And if I don't manage to do it in one sitting, I might come back later today as well. Because I kind of want to finish this after taking a small rest. We'll see, though. Man, the timing sucks, though. I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking called it in my head. Alright, okay, we're back to some worse CEs, though, now. We got Castle of the Sun from Gouda 2. Hey, you know what? Let me actually take my meds. If it's only a small one, I might be able to push through. So I'm gonna start by taking some meds. Sometimes the migraine is small. Because I really want to do this list, man. Okay. Keep going for now, though. So Castle of the Sun, I don't like this C. I think it's pretty garbo. So if you, this is very similar to the, this is almost identical actually to the Go West CE. The only difference is that it has like crit damage. Was it otherwise MP damage on the Go West one? So yeah, it's split stats, star generation, 40% starting gauge. Is like, it's too all over the place. Just way, you would like never use this. I just don't see ever a reason to use this. I don't like the effects and its split stats, so it's just we just call it mega yikes. It is not good. So where, you know what? It's the same tier. They're almost identical. It's the same tier. You just decide if you want crit damage or if you want MP damage. In any case, you're not gonna get a great CE. So there you go. Cool. June, I can't do anything about the ads, bro. Literally, you can't have a stream without ads, bro. I'm sorry if you see ads, bro. I can't do anything about it. Okay, I shouldn't even comment on that because this is going on YouTube. But again, there's nothing I can do about them, man. It is what it is, bro. It's blame Twitch. Anyway, next thing. Okay, he probably can't even hear me right now because he's probably watching ads. But okay. Then we got Wolves of Mibu, I believe, from Gouda 2 as well. This one at least isn't as bad as this one. It's still not amazing though. This is definitely not amazing. But it's certainly at least usable compared to the other one. So it's full attack, and then you get a double effect. Is this the... Wait, I just realized. This is the first of the duo card types, right? I think? Unless I'm forgetting something. Yeah, okay. So for the free ones, it's the first duo one. So it's Buster and Quick Up 10% and 4 stars per turn. Now, a lot of the times you would prefer to have, just one card type. Like, bigger percentage for one card type. In which case, Rainbow is the worst option and Duo is the less worse option. Sometimes Duo is fine, though, for sure. But, yeah. It is still full attack, and stars per turn kind of works with both Buster and Quick, because there tends to be a lot of servants that have crit focus under those card types. But I wouldn't say this is like a very amazing CE or anything like that. Yeah, I guess a bit of a value surge when Ruler Scotty is a thing for, helping Buster crit damage as well. But not a huge deal, honestly. You still probably run something else. But a small bonus for Ruler Scotty. Maybe like a B. I would say a B is pretty fair, just above average. That's about it. It's an okay CE. I did use it back in the day for a little bit, but then when I got better options as the game went on, I kind of stopped using it. But yeah, besides that, it's all right. Well, yeah, but okay, here's the thing, Ricardo. If you have a 20% rainbow effect versus 20% attack, you would probably obviously take the rainbow effect, but you gotta realize how the scaling works. You would never, like, if the attack up would just be higher, they would not make the rainbow effect the same number, because it's obviously better. So that's the reason I don't like this, because the more different card types you have, the smaller the percentage of the upgrade gets. So that's why it tends to, 99% honestly in cases, I would say a single card type CE buff is better than a duo, and especially better than a trio, because why would you not, like, let's say you have a servant with 3 arts cards and an arts MP. Why would I not just pick an arts CE? A rainbow would suck. I would get so much more out of a higher arts percent than a very low percent up for all of the card types, right? That's the main argument. Because you just prefer to have a more targeted thing for your servant, right? Okay, at this point, I'm pretty sure it's a migraine, but you know what? Fuck it, dude. I'm gonna literally activate my real-life guts. I might be in pain, but you know what? Okay, it's definitely an aura going on right now, but I'm gonna fucking push through, okay? Unless it becomes unbearable, then I'm gonna go to bed. Okay. Dude, what a fucking bad timing, man. That sucks. I knew this. I knew it was... I was so overdue for a migraine, bro. And I knew it was gonna happen during a big stream as well. I knew it was gonna happen. God fucking damn it, dude. Anyway, I'm gonna push through, even if I can barely read right now. Do it for the content. Okay. Is it called Someday in Summer? I thought it was One Summer. Anyway, I guess it has 2 names, maybe. Okay, Someday in Summer. We get to CCC then. Yeah, this is a CE, huh? This is a pretty tragic one. It could be amazing, but they chose to make it not amazing. Like, effects-wise, 50% starting gauge, MP damage, quick up 10%, that's great. But then it's not even split stats, it's full HP. Bruh. Bruh. Why? You just ruined the CE in one simple step. Like, why would you do that, bro? That is so sad. And by this time, there weren't even that many good Quicks. Hell, nowadays, Quick still has the least options of all the card types, by the way. So this makes it even more tragic, still to this day. Wow. Just, obviously, we're going to see another CE later that is just, you know, you don't have to worry about this anymore, mostly. But it would have been nice if this CE was still good. It's kind of a tragedy. It could have been so good. It could have been so good. I think it's C, which is like below average. Maybe that seems a bit brutal, but it's not even split stats. And there's going to be a lot of their similar Cs anyway, and some of them are just way, way better. I would not really recommend using the C unless that's like all you have. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Summer too. Okay. What's the Clio C called? Seaside Luxury. It's an interesting C. Although it's one of these star generation ones. So it's full attack, that's cool. Stars per turn, yeah, that's nice. And then star generation. Oh, my voice is dying already. Anyway, like, the effects, I mean, obviously star gen is not a great effect, but they're like kinda combating each other. Like, stars per turn and star generation, like, pick one. You don't need both, honestly. Sure, it makes it, you get more stars, I guess, but it's I've never really liked the CE too much, honestly. Star Gen is such a weak effect. It's just such a weak effect, dude. If this was like something else instead of Star Gen, it could be a lot better. Like if it would be crit damage, it's the same as the Oni one. So it's just a much worse version of the Hot Springs Oni CE, basically. Yeah, I agree, George. That's not really a thing that people do a lot. It's either a D plus or a C. Maybe it's just a C. Because it's still... The full attack and stars per turn is nice, but Star Gen is just... It's a bit poopy. You know? It's just a bit poopy. Honestly, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna bump it down here. Yeah, fuck. Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's not good. It's just not that good. Now, a CE that used to be, like, very amazing until last year. arguably. Yeah, we got Dive to Blue from Summer 3. It's basically the same effect as Sometime in Summer, but for arts. But at least this one has split stats instead of full HP. Obviously, it would be cooler if it had full attack, but, you know, we're gonna see a CE later that is just like, okay, dude. So, effects-wise, is great. It's really good. Like, great effects, honestly. The only thing holding it down is split stats. But again, a certain CE later will kind of rectify this. I would still say Dive to Blue is not bad by any means, honestly. It is not a trash CE, even if that other thing exists nowadays. So I would place it in like B plus or A. One of these two for sure. Maybe even A, honestly. Is between these two. B is too low for it, I think. But you know what? Because, again, the other one is also free, I'm just going to place it in B+. Because they're both free. If this was a gacha one, maybe I would have put them a bit closer to each other, honestly. Maybe they would be a bit more closer. But because, again, all of these are free, you can put way more emphasis in competition, I suppose. I'm just going to put it in B+. Solid, but kind of outscaled by some other stuff nowadays. And we got, what is this? Like three-legged race. There you go. Let's see. This is from, is this the next Nerofest? Wow. How about that? The next one. The music die? Oh my god, everything is going wrong today. Fucking great, dude. Okay. I didn't want to comment about the music because YouTube won't have any of this, but let me see. I want to listen to something at least while I'm doing this. Okay, maybe this works. I don't know. Dude, I can't even see half the thing. I'm literally half blind at this point because of the migraine aura. Anyway. Three-legged race. Full attack. It's a guts CE, 1 time 1 HP guts, and MP damage. Okay, we finally have a good guts CE, actually. This is good. This is one of the better ones for sure, I would say. Absolutely. Would I say it's the best? No, probably not. Honestly, no. But I do think it's really good. Of the guts ones. But then again, guts ones usually tend to be not the best Cs to begin with. So what's the best guts C right now? Is it this one? I think it's this one. I would say it's better than this. So I would probably put it to at least B plus or maybe even A, honestly. Yeah. It is really damn good. For a guts C. But I can't really put it higher than A, I think, because guts is not the best effect for a CE usually. You're probably better off with some other CE effects. I might just leave it in A, though. And this might be some of the highest you will see in guts Cs anyway in this list. Alright, I actually might have to take that break now. I don't even have the headache yet, but it's getting so hard to... I can't even read chat right now. The aura is getting so bad. I'm half blind at this point. I can't see half the shit. Fuck, that sucks. I'm so mad, dude. I'm just so mad. But I'm gonna try and come back later today, so maybe give it an hour or two or something. I want to finish this today. Well, that just sucks, dude. I knew it was gonna happen during a big stream, but again, it is what it is. This is what happens when you have regular migraines. It always happens with shitty timings. So yeah, I might have to take a rest here. Take some meds, take a rest. And then when I have no more head pains and I can see, I'm just gonna come back, okay? So yeah, give it an hour or two. We'll see how bad it is. And I should be back later today to finish this list because I really want to. So yeah.